The Most Relaxing Hair Play by Melissa, ASMR Massage. I begin by taking my fingers and running it over the hair, going around the ears and down the hair, feeling it for the thickness, the density, the length, the waves. Then take my fingers and I walk up the hair, just allowing my fingers to sink in. Then spread it out a little bit. Kind of fluff it out, allowing air to penetrate the density of the hair. And smooth it out with my hand and a brush. I start brushing the hair, taking my time so as not to pull the hair but to glide through it. Working meticulously around the head. I work from side to side. Then take the hair and lift it up, and I begin to brush the underside of the hair. Bringing the brush up and out and away from the neck. Letting it fall back down. Brushing again. Moving the hair into my hands. Bringing the hair upward. Then creating a nice, smooth gathering of the hair. I take a hair tie to gather the hair into just a single hair tie. Then I take a pick and I began to lift, spread the hair, creating nice volume. Allowing the hair to just barely touch the top of the back. Squeezing it and fluffing it up. Do a little jiggle with the hair pick. I just squeeze the ponytail and twist it. See what would it look like was all wrapped up in a bun. Wrap the end around and make the bun stay, and gently pat around the hair using both hands. Then taking the pick, I remove a few strands of hair from the bun, loosening it up and making it a bit more messy. A little more unkempt. I take some of the loose hairs and I just wrap them around. Go ahead and release the bun and allow it to fall back into the ponytail. After brushing it out, I go ahead and remove the hair tie, twisting it a bit and tucking the ends in to cute little do for the hair. I just pat it. Pat, 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 pat. Tucking everything in nice and neat. Then again, I draw the hair out a few strands at a time. There, there, one there, then a bit more, releasing it slowly. And then separating it again, letting it flow back down the back. Take the brush and I brush it out once again, smoothing it with my left hand as I go. Not rushing the brushing experience. Just working around the head. I begin to separate the hair into 3. The second group of hair, I note a strand that is slightly caught, so I slowly pull it apart. And remove the knot. I brush out that second group of hair. We're taking the first and placing it over the second. The third over the first. The first over the third, second over the third, second over the first, third over the first, second over the third, first over the third, second over the third, first and the second and the first, just quickly going over each other until it ends. Then put the hair tie on the end and note that I've created a braid. I part some hair just at the top of the braid, sticking the end in the created hole, and I pull the braid through, I straighten it out of it, and close the gap, and then I fluff it out a bit, just pulling the braid, making it slightly shorter and a little wider. Then run my hand down the head and the braid. Then I use my other hand in the same fashion. Then very inconspicuously remove the hair tie. I begin to vibrate the braid, shaking it very gently, loosening it, and pulling it apart with my fingers. Then with my fingers I dig into the hair and I bring it back out. I use the brush once again to smooth and straighten the hair. Taking the brush and just brushing the top of the head before I grab the pick. I let the pick glide through the hair. And before it reaches the ends, I let the hair fall and return to the back. Just lifting the hair away from the scalp. Then working lower, I do it at neck level. Then I take the hair and let it run over my forearms. Let it act as though it's a piece of silk being draped across, pulled through, and just floating down back to the back as it runs over the arms. Returning to the brush, I again straighten the hair, smooth it, and bring the hair up so that I can apply the pick to the base of the scalp. I just draw lines upwards. and go back to the pick, and I used it as my device to spread the hair. Just barely grabbing and flicking, flick, 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 flick. Then I twist and I pull. And I twist and I pull. Twist, pull, twist, and pull, twist, and pull, twist, pull, twist, twist, and pull. Return to the brush and I smooth out the hair. Just doing a broad sweeping this time. And taking both hands, I again separate the hair into sections. To twist the first section to a nice tight little twirl. Then separate the hair into a second section and I twist that. I begin to twist that as well into a nice little twirl. Then take the third section of hair and I twist that into a nice little twirl. Then begin to cross those over each section. Just once. Then as a group, twist it all and I bring the end of the hair up to the top of the head. Then let it bring it, then I bring it down and shake it out. I then take a large comb and glide it from the top of the head down the neck and back. Just letting it grab the tops of the hair and maintain contact all the way. Moving the hair aside, I Continue the same motion, starting at the top of the head, going down the neck, and now the back, down the neck, across the back, going left and right. Just use the comb and I go back and forth across the upper back. Then using the end of the comb, I move the hair back into place. Grabbing a section by another section, another section, another section, and another section. And I actually use the comb as a very light pick. Just grabbing a little bit of the hair and removing the comb. Very fast motion. Just like I was using scissors maybe to create some layers in the hair. Just barely touching it and moving down the hair and barely touching it and moving down the hair. Very quickly as to not disturb too much of the hair at once. Then straighten the hair out a bit more with a comb. Then after I've gone over it with the comb, I go back to the brush. I begin to brush the hair. Then squeeze the hair just with my hands. Treating it as if it's a nice, soft pillow, just squeezing it with one and the other hand and repeating, squishing it together. Then removing the hands, squeezing, removing. And using the brush, I straighten it out again, both from the top and from the bottom. Then using the pick once more, I start going in and out of the hair. Trying to keep contact with the back, neck, and scalp as I bring it upward. Then releasing the hair, I use the brush once again, going over the ears and down the hair, all the way to the tip. smooth it out and run my hands across it one last time. Thank you to my Patreon supporters, Matt, Michael, and Becky.